Okay, I think we'll get started. And welcome to the July 9th meeting of the Elkhart City Board of Zoning Appeals. If you are joining by video, your microphone will be automatically muted and your video will not be on when you are entering the meeting. Please make sure you use both your first and last name. If you would like to speak, you must click on the raised hand action and wait to be called on in order to alert our IT attendant to unmute your speaker and turn on your video, which is necessary if you want to take part in the meeting. When you begin to speak, speak up and identify yourself before proceeding. When speaking, petitioner, public, and board members, make sure your mic is on and speak into it. The purpose of this meeting is to review and consider all requests for relief from any standard in the zoning ordinance, including variances, use variances, special exceptions, conditional use requests, and administrative appeals. All of the cases heard tonight will have a positive, negative, or no decision made by the board. If no decision is made, the petition will be set for another hearing. If a decision is made that you disagree with, either as the petitioner or an interested party, you must file for an appeal of the board's decision no later than 30 days after the decision has been made. That appeal must be filed in an appropriate court, not with the board. If you file your appeal later than 30 days after the decision of this board or give no written appearance tonight, you may not appeal the board's decision. If you think you may potentially want to appeal a decision of this board, you must give the board a written appearance before the hearing. If you are here in person, a sign-in sheet is provided, which will act as an appearance. You must sign the sheet if you want to speak, and you must sign the sheet if you want to appeal our decision. A written petition that is set for hearing tonight satisfies the appearance requirement for the petition. Because the rules on appeal are statutory and specific on what you can do, the board recommends that you seek legal advice. If you are a petitioner, in addition to filing an appeal, you may first file a motion for a rehearing within 14 days of the board's decision. Tonight, we have our minimum quorum of 3 members present, which may include temporary appointed members. While we can conduct business with 3 members, any votes must be unanimous. Anything less than a unanimous vote will be considered no action, and the case will be reset for next month. With respect to public comments, that portion of the meeting, public comments will only be taken on the specific petition being heard before the board. Unlike the city council meetings where there is a time for anyone to comment on any issue, we do not have that at the BZA, and comments will only be taken for or against the petition before the board. Okay, let's begin and take the roll call.
Lightman. Lindley.
Yes.
Newbill.
Here.
Avondra Rickoff.
Yes. Okay. Approval of the agenda with one change, and that is 26 BZA 10 will be tabled. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
Roll call?
Lindley.
Yes.
Newbill.
Yes.
Avondra Rickoff.
Yes. Okay. Approval of the minutes for the June 11th, 2026 meeting. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay. Approval for the proofs of publication. Do I have a motion?
So moved.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Okay.
Just make Rain's life easier.
Okay. Eric, did I get everything? Oh my gosh. It's a first.
Moving right along.
I know. All right, let's start off, and we're going to go to old business, 26 UV 11.
The petitioner is Louis and Maria Navarrete. The site location is 2642 South Main Street. The request is from section 19.2 permitted uses in the M2 General Manufacturing District to allow for a food truck park.
Okay. Could we have the petitioner come up? You sure can.
Yeah.
Okay, what is it that you would like to do with the space?
A renta truck for the food.
Food truck, and are you going to own these food trucks? You're going to rent them out to all different people?
All different people.
Okay.
Only rent.
Okay,
People responsible for the food.
Yeah, so every individual truck's going to be responsible for their own water, sewage, and electricity.
okay.
That's a rental for them to park only.
And they'll get their own permits from the health department?
Correct.
Okay, all right. Do you all have any questions?
Yeah, I have a question because I'm looking at this site. So where's the water and electricity coming from?
Their own water, so each individual truck has its
They'll
own
bring it.
standby
You have a
generator,
tank?
and it has both a fresh water tank and a what you call a containment tank for what is it, gray water?
Gray water.
Yeah, for cleaning and stuff. Okay.
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 And then I wanted to double check. There is no proposal for additional lights, so it's a dawn to dusk operation. So this time of year, obviously, longer operation. Winter time, much, much shorter.
It's much shorter.
Okay.
All right.
So with these trucks being there, would they be places for chairs and tables or won't be anything like that? They just come and get your food and leave?
Yeah, it's just going to be a come get your food and leave. Come get your food and leave, and that's it. No tables or chairs.
Okay.
Okay. Any other questions? Okay, very good. Thank you very much. At this time, we will have anyone speak for or against, for this petitioner? Against the petition? Okay, Eric?
The petitioner is requesting a use variance to allow for the vacant property in the 2600 block of South Main Street to be used for a food truck park. Section 19.2 permitted uses in the M2 General Manufacturing District does not permit food truck parks. The petitioner would like to use the currently vacant land on South Main Street for a food truck park. The land has previously been used for a dress shop until around 2008, when the building was demolished, and that had been vacant since and has been vacant since that time. The petitioner submitted a site plan for the hearing depicting areas of open space, food truck parking, and customer parking. Currently, the city does not have development regulations for food truck parks or food trucks or food truck parks. The state of Indiana requires minimum standards to be maintained for basic hygiene, potable water, wastewater, refrigeration, ventilation. Where the food is prepared requires permitted commissary, and that the food truck must return to the commissary daily. The state also regulates and has criteria for equipment, floors, walls, and ceilings within the food truck. These requirements are the minimum food safety standards related to food trucks. It is the obligation of the local municipality to establish more restrictive food safety standards and regulations that speak to where the food truck use is permitted. There are 3 parcels, each 50 by 180, together that make up the area of the request, with 2 of the 3 parcels paved. Staff visited the site May 28, 2026, and based on the site visit, staff had a number of questions and concerns related to the use. The first thing we noticed, there was a food truck operating with a sign that utilizing a portable generator. It was located on the southern part of the middle parcel on what appeared to be the foundation of the building that was raised a number of years ago. What seeing that food truck did was to allow the staff to understand the actual scale and what a potential number of food trucks that could be placed on the property. In looking at the diagrams submitted by the petitioner, customer parking would be located primarily on the 2 paved parcels, with the parking being placed along the sides, leaving the middle open for a travel lane. In the pictures taken by staff below, staff parked in the area where the parking is to take place. There's only room for 2 rows of parking spaces with 2 travel lanes. The petitioner's diagram also shows 4 food trucks in the rear of the property in a half circle. In staff's opinion, there is sufficient room to accommodate 4 trucks. Staff met with the petitioner via Teams meeting on July 9 to discuss the site plan and have staff questions about the site plan and general operation of the food truck park answered. Food trucks will be parked during the week and weekends during the hours of natural light. No tables or chairs will be installed, allowing the food truck to be only used for carry out or to-go service. There were discussions about updating the site plan to remove the 6 parking spaces down the middle of the site plan to improve traffic flow. And again, we've included photos of the location of the proposed parking, noting the sufficient room for 2 rows plus the driving aisle. And the list of questions or additional information needed are as follows, with the answers provided this afternoon. A scale drawing of the parking and trucks placed so staff can better understand the programming for the proposed use. The plan should also contemplate ingress and egress from the property. Currently, there is only 1 curb cut located on the northernmost lot. And the response was all parties have agreed that the site plan will still need to be updated to remove the center aisle parking. The next is a plan of how the property owner will monitor the site for security, parking, garbage disposal, and how the southern lot that is not paved will be blocked so no parking occurs in the area. The answer provided the owners live close and will come by daily. The next is how and where will the garbage be collected? The answer, the individual food trucks will be responsible for placing trash cans in front of their food trucks, including the removal of trash cans at the end of the day, with local family members picking up trash and litter daily. Next is, will there be any additional lighting proposed? And there will be no additional lighting. The next is, will there be a request made for connection to municipal utilities for water and sanitary sewer? Responding no request for connection to water or sanitary sewer is being asked, as no underground work is being proposed. Next, with the potential for large numbers of people, restrooms are a needed discussion point. The numbers and density of use will create a destination. And the answer that those should not be necessary, as the food service is all takeaway. Next, how will staff know if the food trucks have been that are placed have met the food service requirements from the health department reporting and inspection? Answer, the staff will request that a copy of the health department report is given for each food truck to the planning department. Next, where is the commissary that is required, and food must come from a permitted commissary. All food trucks will go to the commissary to cook and unload supplies at the end of the day. All food trucks must have a peddler's license obtained from the City of Elkhart's Controller's Office. Staff recommends approval of the use variance based on the following findings of fact. The approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, or morals or general welfare of the community, because the property will only be used during the day. Number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner, because this use as a food truck park, this use is less intense than most manufacturing uses and is more consistent with the commercial uses across the street. Number 3, granting the variance would be consistent with the intent and purpose of the ordinance, because a small measure of relief is when uniquely warranted. Number 4, special conditions and circumstances do exist which are peculiar to the land involved and which are not applicable to other lands or structures in the same district, because without board action, the food truck park would not be permitted for this site. Number 5, the strict application of the terms of this ordinance would result in practical difficulties in the use of the property, because establishing a permitted M use would be challenging given the depth of the property and the need for most modern industrial to have more area to navigate truck traffic for docks and deliveries. And number 6, the special conditions and circumstances do not result from any action or inaction by the applicant, because the zoning classification has been in place for decades and no food truck has yet been established. And number 7, the property does not lie within a designated flood hazard area. Conditions: if the board chooses to approve the requested use variance, staff recommends that the following conditions be placed upon the request. Number 1, submittal of the project for a modified tech review to ensure compliance with developmental standards for the Public Works and Planning Departments. And number 2, the approval is for a term of 1 year and must be reheard as a staff item in July of 2027. There were 25 letters mailed. 2 responded in favor with no response.
Okay. Any questions for Eric?
Eric, Claire, because this has come up before, the approval for a term of 1 year is on the applicants and not on the food trucks that will be there, correct?
Correct, it's for the
Even though they are the leases.
Correct.
Okay. Eric, did you talk to them about signage at all? Is there going to be any signage for this?
We did not, but we will cover that during tech review, and we anticipate that that on the outside of the food truck, they have the menu and a little triangle board. We're anticipating that's what's going to be utilized, because it was the desire of the petitioner's representative, their daughter that we spoke to this afternoon, that they are not wanting to make improvements to the property, that this is just a spot for these individuals to park and to conduct business.
So there won't be like a sign that says food truck park
No.
here? No? Okay. All right. Any other questions?
No other questions for me?
Okay. Could I have a motion?
Well, I move to approve 26 UV 11 and adopt the petitioner's documents and presentations together with the staff's finding of facts as the board of the finding of facts in the present petition, and with the following conditions.
With the conditions that are stated in the, yeah,
1 and 2.
okay.
Second?
Roll call?
Lindley,
Yes?
Newbill,
Yes,
Avondra Rickhoff.
Yes. All right, you guys are all set.
we'll see you at lunchtime.
Yeah. All right, 26X02.
The petitioner is New Life in Christ Ministry. The site location is 1842 East Bristol Street. The request per section 11.3.a special exception use in the B1 Neighborhood Business District to allow for the establishment of a new church at 1842 East Bristol Street.
Okay. Would the petitioner come up, please? Hi. Could you tell us what you want to do?
Okay, so we purchased Old Key Bank, is what it was there at 1842 East Bristol Street. The property has been renovated, so it's a big open room, maybe a little bit smaller than this room. And so what we are wanting to do is have church. Our church services are on Sunday, 10:30. We have service for about an hour and a half. And then we have a Wednesday night service that's from 6 to 7. And then we have like a prayer, women's prayer and men's prayer that we usually do one Saturday morning, and the other one's like on a Tuesday night, 6 to 7 as well. There's a couple things that maybe I go ahead and address. There's 20 parking stalls on the property that are owned with the property. The old drive-through area is not being used as parking. I was told that we could probably put 8 more parking stalls there if we needed to. We have chairs that just arrived a few weeks ago. We set those up in the big open facility room. We had about 60 chairs that we have set up in there comfortably, with plenty of space and different things like that. And so that's kind of the layout. There is an office in the building right when you walk into the left, and then to the right we have a nursery for young mothers and things like that. We have 2 restrooms, 2 private restrooms, as well as there's a small kitchenette in the facility. And so that's kind of our layout, and that's kind of what we're looking to do there, and to provide spreading the good news of Jesus Christ in our community. And so we look forward to outreaching Elkhart as long as we're approved.
Okay, very good. Any questions?
Nope.
No, the only questions I had was anticipated weekly use and current congregation size, and he answered that.
Yes, I think
Okay.
we're good. All right, thank you. All right, do we have anyone in the audience to speak for the petitioner? Hello.
My name is Carson Greathouse. I would like to say that our ministry has touched a lot of people, both in this community and outside of this community. And I think if we had access to this building to use for a church, it would not only help our family and the people that currently go to our church, but many families as we continue to reach out and provide different things that we do. In Michigan, we provide out-of-school programs and summer programs for families and stuff. And it's really without this church, without the foundation, everything kind of is in void. And so I hope that you guys consider this and that you help us. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. Anyone else for? Do we have anyone to speak against the petitioner? Okay. Let's see, is this Eric or Kyle? Kyle, okay.
Staff analysis. The request is per 11.3 special exception use. 11.3A churches to allow for the establishment of a new church at 1842 East Bristol Street. The petitioner has purchased a commercial building with the intent of remodeling the building to use as a church. This building was previously used as a bank, and the applicant is proposing some interior remodeling, which is complete to open up the space. All of that work had been done prior to accommodate the new use as a place of worship. The floor plan provided shows several existing office spaces that have been removed to create the large gathering and congregational space. Some of the current office space will remain. At this time, no proposals were made for changes on the exterior of the building. The site also has 20 parking spaces based on the current parking requirements. The current parking configuration will accommodate about 100 people, which is approximately 4 seats per 1 parking spot. Recommendations. Staff recommends approval of the request based on the following findings of fact. Number 1, the special exception is so defined, located, and proposed to be operated that the public health, safety, and welfare will be protected. Number 2, the special exception will not reduce the value of other properties in the immediate vicinity because there will be no exterior changes to the existing building. Number 3, the special exception shall conform to the regulations of the zoning district in which it is to be located because it will not generate adverse effects on adjoining properties in the forms of noise, smoke, or odor. Conditions. If the board chooses to approve the requested special exception, staff recommends that the following condition be placed upon the approval. The petitioner shall request a project for a modified staff technical review to ensure all development requirements have been met. I also want to add that the Plan Commission did provide a due pass recommendation.
Okay.
Yes, we did.
There was 25 letters mailed out, 1 phone call received, not in favor. This was, the call came in on 7/2 from Judy McCarroll. She owns The shopping center behind this property is opposed to the use variance, is concerned about the church having adequate parking. 20 parking spaces is not enough. It is also concerned about the church's operating hours, very different from the previous business, which was the bank.
Okay. Kyle, do we know what kind of signage they're going to have?
So no signage has been currently proposed, but it is expected to match what would be found in the B1 district.
Okay. We get so many churches in front of us that are wanting variances for signage. So please take a look and see what the requirements are for signage because they're very specific. Sure.
Yeah, we looked at what was previous there.
Donnie, you want to come up to the mic, please?
Yeah, we already looked into that, and what was previous there is what they said that we could still use because it was within the same ramifications of the zoning. So we weren't looking for anything that's any petitioning on any type of signage or anything like that. Everything that was previous there was actually bigger than what we were considering.
Okay.
So we were actually so.
Okay, and that includes temporary signage too.
Yes.
You need to, if you want temporary signage, you need to look at the rules on that.
Okay, thank you.
So Pastor Donnie,
Yes.
your hours are usually when most other businesses are closed, correct?
Yes,
And
yeah,
what
correct.
hours do you start service?
Yeah, so 10:30 on Sundays, and then, of course, a Saturday morning breakfast is usually small. And then we have 6 to 7 on Wednesday night. That's always there. So those businesses are usually closed at those times. And then I also do know this, is that there is a strip in that parking
A long
center
driveway to the-
that is that is trying to be sold to us
Yes.
for additional space that we really don't need. Like I said, we only have about 50, 60 people, and if we were to outgrow that, we do have campgrounds and things up in Michigan and things like that. So if it ever did become a problem with size or parking or any of those things, we do have another facility that, if we had to do something temporary. So yeah, I think that might be some of what's happening there.
Okay,
Very good, thank you.
Yep.
thank you. Do you all have any more questions for Kyle?
Kyle, I do have one. Again, since I'm learning how this all works, special exemption stays with the current owners, and if the property sells, then the special exemption goes away? Or is it permanently on record for this?
No. Every subsequent user would have to file for a new special exception. It does not run with the land.
Okay. Thank you.
Any other questions? Okay. Thank you. Do I have a motion?
I move to approve 26-X-02 and adopt the petitioner's documents and presentations, together with the staff's finding of facts, as the board's finding of facts in the present petition,
And the conditions?
with the following condition.
One
Was
condition.
it just one? Yep.
Second?
Roll call?
Lindley,
Yes.
Newbill,
Yes,
Evangelista Rickoff,
Yes. All right.
I'll see you at one of your services.
All right, very good. Now we're on to 26 UV 17.
The petitioner is John Robinia. The site location is 2603 Morton Avenue. The request is to vary from section 5.2 permitted uses in the R2 one family dwelling district to allow for a dog grooming salon.
Okay. Will the petitioner come up? Okay, what would you like to do?
So I've had a grooming salon I've owned it since 2026. I'm currently on Bristol Street in a building that is actually residential with a variance. That building has been sold.
Oh.
So I'm looking to be able to groom in my home. I would be the only person that would be grooming. It's just me now. I used to have employees, but I don't anymore. We have off-street parking, which was the one thing when I did the petition that I did not specifically say. We have 2 driveways. So we would have a separate spot for people to drop their dogs off.
Okay.
And I have a picture if you want it.
I drove by, so I saw it.
Okay, all right. I do everything by appointment, and generally my clients come, they're there for maybe 5 minutes. Drop off, I take their dogs in, I groom them. I usually text them when I'm about 15 minutes from being done, or we've set a time for them to come and pick up. And they pick up their dog, and then I just, do the next one. I think I already said, I usually do about 4 to 5 a day. What else did I have? I think that's all of it. Yeah, I think that's it.
Okay. Any questions?
Yeah, I have a question. I was just looking at the pictures, but I didn't see any fencing. Do the animals stay inside? during the
Yes,
whole
I have no
period?
kenneling. They're not even there long enough to need to be pottied. I mean, it's
Okay.
just, an hour or 2. So,
We will have kennels for them when they're inside, though.
I mean, I have
Dry
crates,
'em and
but yeah, you're not having,
They aren't
they don't,
staying.
they don't need to be outside. They don't stay for any long period of time.
Just get one at a time and then go to that.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. That's cool.
I noticed that you had a sign out in front, a little portable sign.
That's probably got to go.
Well, there are restrictions on how long that can stay. And Eric, Kyle, I don't remember how long it is that one of those portable, is it 30 days a year or something? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I was thinking I needed to ask you to be ready to answer this question.
We're just gonna stick an open sign in the window.
Yeah, it's not a problem. And like I said, everybody's by appointment, so,
Okay,
yeah.
She's had all her clients for a very long time, so.
okay,
That's good.
All I got to
okay,
do is give them, the new address.
okay. Well, just be aware.
It's related to the size. So we have a size limitation. We don't regulate what is on the sign, but it is related to the size. So I'm sorry, I've had a lot of dental work done, I'm sorry. It's related to the size of the sign, not what's on it. So if it meets our requirement, we would have them pull a zoning clearance for the sign.
Okay. All right, yes, well, I'm not sure what that meant, but
But if I understood her signs are in the window. Yeah.
Okay, all right, thank you.
okay. Any other questions?
Nope.
All right, thank you very much. Okay, at this point, is there anyone to speak for the petitioner? Against the petitioner? Kyle, you're on.
Staff analysis. The petitioner is requesting to vary from section 5.2 permitted uses in the R2 one-family dwelling district to allow the property at 2603 Morton Avenue to be used for a dog grooming salon. The homeowner is requesting board action to use a portion of their home as a dog grooming salon. Dog grooming is not listed or defined in the current zoning ordinance. Pet stores, animal hospitals, and kennels are found in the B3 and B2 districts of the zoning ordinance respectively. Staff looked at the pet grooming requests as a service business, less intense than a pet store, kennel, or animal hospital. all of which are located along busy streets and typically a higher volume business. The proposed grooming business is accessory to the primary use, which is a residential structure. The petitioner is looking to downsize their business at 1227 East Bristol Street and move to their home. Business hours will be during the day with approximately 4 to 5 clients per day. Pickup and drop-off parking will occur on the 2 driveways. The petitioner assured staff that the animals will come to the business and will be contained within the interior of the house. There will be no outdoor kenneling or overnight boarding, and no exterior alterations to the residential appearance of the property. Based on the assessor's records, the house is 1,100 square feet and built around 1952. The proposed use as dog grooming will be appointments only. The property is not located on a major thoroughfare and is surrounded by low-density residential uses. Dog grooming salons will have little to no impact on the adjoining residential properties. Recommendations. Staff recommends approval of the use variance for a dog grooming salon based on the following findings of fact. Number 1, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare of the community because the proposed use as a dog grooming salon is a low-intense use and will not have an impact to the surrounding neighborhood. Number 2, the use and value of the area adjoining to the property will not be affected in a substantial adverse manner because the use is low impact, that will not create any noise or odor, and will have no substantial external changes to the house. Number 3, the strict application of the terms of this ordinance will not constitute a unnecessary hardship if applied to the property for which the variance is sought because the use is low intensity and will not be a nuisance for surrounding properties in the form of noise, smoke, or odor. Number 4, special conditions and circumstances do exist which are particular to the land involved, which are not applicable to other land or structures in the same district because without board action, the use as a dog grooming salon on this parcel would not be permitted. Number 5, the strict application of the terms of this ordinance would not result in practical difficulties in the use of the property because establishing a permitted R2 use could be established on this site. Number 6, the special conditions and circumstances do not result from an action or inaction by the applicant as the use does not currently exist. Number 7, this property does not lie within a designated flood hazard area. Conditions. If the board chooses to approve the requested use variance, staff recommends that the following conditions be placed upon the approval. Number 1, the petitioner will not board animals or pets overnight or for extended periods of time. Number 2, any interior modifications that are requested to support the proposed dog grooming salon, the petitioner shall obtain the proper permits from the building department. Number 3, any signage shall be limited to a temporary yard sign. Any permanent signage must be heard before this body as a developmental variance. There was 35 letters sent out and 0 responses.
All right. Any questions for Kyle?
No questions?
I don't have any either. Okay. Do I have a motion?
Okay. I move to approve 26-UV-17 and adopt the petitioner's documents and presentations together with the staff's finding of facts as the board's finding of facts in the presentation, present petition, along with the following conditions as stated.
Yes, 3 conditions as stated. Okay.
All right. Lindley?
Second?
Oh, sorry, I'm so sorry. Now are we good?
Now
Okay,
roll
yeah,
call.
Lindley?
Yes.
Newbill?
Yes.
Avondra Rickhoff?
Yes. Okay, very good. All right, you're all set. You bet. All right, our next petition is 26 BZA 15.
The petitioners Kenneth Knox and Wanda Knox. The site location is 2901 Homer Avenue. The request is to vary from section 261B8A, which states in part, accessory buildings on property occupied by 1 or 2 family residential use shall be limited to a maximum floor area of 720 square feet for the largest structure, with a maximum total of 840 square feet for all accessory buildings combined, to allow for the proposed accessory building at 1,152 square feet, where the maximum for any one accessory structure is 720 square feet, a variance of 432 square feet, to also vary from the maximum total area for all accessory structures of 840 square feet, to allow for a total area of all accessory structures of 1,568 square feet, a variance of 728 square feet. Also to vary from section 261B3, which states in part, all accessory structures shall not be located closer than 3 feet to an interior side yard lot line and not closer than 5 feet to the rear lot line, to allow for a variance of 3 feet to an interior side yard lot line and 5 feet rear line for a 0 setback for both.
All right, thank you, Eric. Would the petitioner come up, please? Okay, tell us what you'd like to do.
Good evening. My name is Gary Potts. I am the owner of Professional Permits. My address is 58171 Dragonfly Court in Osceola, Indiana. Here tonight on behalf of the Knoxes, who are present if you have any questions that I can't answer. What they want to do is they have a garage that they demoed with the hopes of rebuilding it. The garage had been in place since 1983. It was getting dilapidated to the point where it's no longer safe. So they pulled a demo permit, had it demoed, and then pulled a permit, applied for a permit to get the garage rebuilt, and that was told at that time that it was too large and they would need a variance. So that's why we are here. I'm happy to answer any questions that you have. I won't go through all of the same staff information that you're going to hear from them. So in the hope of keeping it short, I'm just happy to answer any questions that you have.
So I drove by yesterday and I saw where you demoed the garage, but there are 2 more buildings on the
Correct.
property. There's that little shed, and then there's also another something over to, I'm not sure for my directions.
Behind the home,
on
yes, I know, I'm familiar with that, yes.
Yeah, so there's that other, is that going to stay in addition to the garage that they're going to build?
The garage behind the home will stay. The small shed that you saw next to the driveway will be demoed when this one is built.
So they're going to have 2 large garages
Two
behind
structures,
there?
yes.
Okay. All right, and you guys are aware of that, I'm sure? Yeah, okay, all right. Any other questions?
Nope. Sounds like a good idea to me.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Is there anyone in the audience who would like to speak for the petitioner? Anyone who'd like to speak against? Okay. Eric, you're up.
The petitioner is seeking to vary from section 26(1)(b)(8)(a), which states in part, accessory buildings on property occupied by one or two family residential uses shall be limited to a maximum floor area of 720 square feet for the largest structure, with a maximum total of 840 square feet for all accessory buildings combined, to allow for the proposed accessory building at 1,152 square feet, where the maximum for any one accessory structure is 720 square feet, a variance of 432 square feet, to also vary from the maximum total area for all accessory structures of 840 square feet, to allow for a total area of all accessory structures of 1,568 square feet, a variance of 728 square feet. To also vary from section 26(1)(b)(3), which states in part, an accessory structure shall not be located closer than 3 feet to the interior side lot line and not closer than 5 feet to the rear lot line, to allow for a variance of 3 feet on the interior and 5 foot for the rear for a 0 setback for both. The petitioner is proposing to rebuild an existing non-conforming garage. Based on conversations and photo evidence provided to staff from the homeowner, the garage structure that was torn down had extensive rot, and the only viable option was to demolish the structure and rebuild new. The demolition of the garage structure occurred in January 2026. Permits to rebuild the garage were submitted on April 23, 2026. The following day upon examination of the submitted material, staff let the applicant know the proposed garage did not meet developmental standards for size. The applicant filed with the board on June 3rd, 2026. The petitioner's agent filed the variance material on behalf of the property owner. At the time of the petition material was being completed, the agent did not have access to the survey. To err on the side of caution, the petition was filed requesting a 0-foot setback for the side and rear setback. Subsequent to the filing, the homeowner found the survey, which has indicated a 5.3-foot rear setback and a 10.2-foot setback or side setback. The information will eliminate the need for the setback variance, as the new garage structure could be built in the same location and be compliant. The next part of the variance is for the size of the proposed garage structure. What has been requested does not meet the current requirements in terms of area, 1,152 square feet. Staff has been able to locate the original permit for the garage that was torn down, obtained in 1983. The dimensions referred to for the garage were 24 by 46 at 1,104 square feet. It is reasonable to assume the property owner that a permitted garage would be eligible for replacement with another permitted garage. Staff understands that thought process. However, regulations do change over time, and in this case, the size allowances are smaller for garages accessory structures currently. Because of the original garage was permitted and it has not caused harm to the surrounding property, staff is willing to recommend in favor of replacing the garage structure with an area of 1,104 square feet. And based on the recommendation, the need for the third accessory structure will not be necessary, as the petitioner will remove the third accessory structure. Staff recommends approval of the variance. I would like to highlight one thing before I make the recommendation, that on the survey confirmed that the garage that was torn down was 1,152 square feet.
Okay.
Okay.
So that does change a little bit of the, and I was going to amend that last paragraph and I didn't before we sent these out. So we are fine with the 1,152 square feet because that's what was there before.
Yes.
Staff recommends approval of the developmental variance to vary from the requirements found in section 26(1)(b)(4) accessory structures in the general provisions, which states in part, accessory buildings on property occupied by one or two family residential uses shall be limited to a maximum floor area of 720 square feet for the largest structure, with a maximum total of 840 square feet for all accessory buildings combined, to allow for the proposed accessory building of 1,152 square feet, where the maximum for any one accessory structure is 720 square feet, a variance of 432 square feet, to also vary from the section 26 1B3, which states apart, an accessory structure shall not be located closer than 3 feet to the interior side lot line and not closer than 5 feet to the rear lot line to allow for a variance of 3 feet to an interior lot line and 5-foot rear lot line for a 0-foot setback based on the following findings of fact. Number one, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, and general welfare of the community because the garage will be constructed and inspected to ensure it is built to all applicable code requirements. Number two, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner because the garage will match the previously removed garage in height and size. Number three, granting the variance would be consistent with the intent purpose of the ordinance because the measure of relief is allowed when warranted. Special conditions and circumstances do exist which are peculiar to the land involved and which are not applicable to other lands or structures in the same district because the garage is in the same location as the previous garage. Number five, the strict application of the terms of this ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property because without some measure of relief, the size of the garage would not be permitted. Number six, the special conditions and circumstances do not result from any action or inaction by the applicant because the property owner has not started construction and the property does not lie within a designated flood hazard area. There were 36 letters mailed, 1 returned in favor with comments. Give me just one. They are in favor of the zoning variance request. They've been Ken and Wanda have been wonderful neighbors of ours for over 20 years. They have been anchors in the neighborhood. This request to replace the old garage with one of similar size. The property owners have also received variances for improvements and new construction. We hope this request will be approved. So that would be 2 returned in favor.
Okay.
Thank you.
And there are no conditions, is that correct?
No.
Okay. Okay, any questions for Eric?
Okay, after you got the plot, and I've lost the plot, am I right in understanding that the recommendation while calling for variances for the setbacks really isn't necessary?
Correct, it is not necessary.
Okay. So in
That could be removed from your motion. So it would be for the size only.
Okay, so it would only be a variance from current size.
Correct,
Okay,
because we did
got it.
receive the survey that confirmed that it does meet the setback.
And it is
requirements.
replacing the exact same.
Exact same size.
Same size, okay.
All right. Eric, I guess my one question is, I don't see the other big structure that they've got and the square footage for that when you start talking about totals.
That's the total square footage of all of the 1,500 is the total of all of the accessory structures.
All 3.
All,
And one
only
being-
2.
And one's
because
gonna be
The third is
removed.
going to be removed.
That's correct.
So that structure that's staying is just a few hundred square feet. Oh,
It's
look bigger
it's a
than,
small single car garage.
Yes.
okay. It looked bigger to me from my vantage point, but we couldn't see it very well, so that makes sense. Okay. Any other questions for Eric?
No?
Nope.
Okay, very good. Could I have a motion?
I move to approve 26 BZA-15 and adopt the petitioner's documents and presentations together with the staff's finding of facts as the board's finding of facts in the present petition.
Do I have a second?
Second.
Roll call. Lindley.
Yes.
Newbill.
Yes.
Yvonne Rickhoff.
Yes. All right, you're all set? Thank you. You bet.
Thank you.
Okay, our next one is 26 BZA 16.
The petitioner is HMS Elkhart LLC. The site location is 1514 West Lusher Avenue. The request is the property owner wishes to replace an existing non-conforming 6-foot fence with a new 10-foot tall fence. This request is to vary from section 26.4.d.1 fence requirements for fences around junkyards, motor vehicle impoundments yards, scrap or recycling yards, or motor vehicle wrecking yards, which states in part that an opaque fence, a minimum of 8 feet tall in height, constructed of painted or treated wood, painted or textured block or brick, set back 15 feet or more from the lot line, and in front of a corner side yard, the fence shall not project beyond the front facade of the building located on adjoining lots on the same side of the street to allow for a chain link at the same location as the existing beyond the front facade of the structure at the property line with a 0-foot setback. To also vary from section 26.4.d.3a of fence requirements of fences around junkyard, motor vehicle impoundment yards, scrap or recycling yards, or motor vehicle wrecking yards, which states in part a landscape strip shall be maintained between the fence and property line in the following yards. All front yard and corner side yards to allow for these same replacement fence at a 0-foot setback with no landscape strip.
Okay. Will the petitioner come up?
Good evening, Crystal Welsh, Abbenmar, 303 River Race Drive in Goshen, and Mark Doki, the owner and operator of Heavy Metal Scrap, is here as well for any questions you might have. As staff mentioned, this is a long-term business. It's been here for a really long time. Had multiple owners. The Dokis acquired it in the 2000s after the scrapyard that was there went out of business. And so he inherited a lot of the issues on the site, one being this non-conforming 6-foot chain link fence. And there's been not only from his business operation of security issues, people are vandalizing, damaging the fence, entering the scrapyard, which is not the intent, as well as the fact is this new opaque fence will meet the requirements of the zoning ordinance. It'll be an aesthetic improvement for the neighborhood as well. The issue we really run into is the fact that this is an existing operation and those buildings and areas have been there for quite some time. Two major areas of concern that really eliminate our ability to push that fence back and install that landscaping have to do with a large concrete area. So those fence poles are closer to the right-of-way because of that concrete. And then probably more importantly is the stormwater retention area. And by pushing that fence into the stormwater retention area would complicate and pretty much make that system not usable anymore. And so when discussing with the property owner as well as the staff, the best solution was to put the fence in the same location, but upgrade it in materials to be able to meet the city requirements.
I drove by there, and boy, that is a big place of business that you've got there. I think it's imperative that we keep kids out of there, that we keep vandals out of there, and I'm kind of the mind, whatever you need to keep them, someone's going to get hurt if they get in there, and I think that this will be good to beef up that fence, and I can also see why you can't do those setbacks. I mean, part of it is because you go kind of right up to the lot line. So I get that as well. I sure never knew that business was there, and it's very, very interesting. It was kind of neat to see, actually. Any other questions?
None.
No, I drove by too, and I agree.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. Who's doing this? Eric?
For and against.
Oh, I'm sorry. Is there anyone who would like to speak against this? Anyone who'd like to speak for this? Okay.
The petitioner is seeking to vary from section 26.4.d.1 fence requirements for fencing around junkyards, motor vehicle impoundment yards, scrap or recycling yards, or motor vehicle wrecking yards, which states in part that a opaque fence, a minimum of 8 feet in height, constructed of painted or treated wood, painted or textured brick or block, and set back 15 feet or more inside the lot line, and in a front or corner side yard, that fence shall not project beyond the front facade of buildings located on adjoining lots on the same side of the street to allow for a chain link fence at the same location as the existing beyond the front facade of the structure at the property line with a 0-foot setback. The petitioner has had numerous issues with people gaining entrance to the property by cutting through the existing fence and stealing scrap metal from the inside of the fenced campus. Currently, the petitioner has had to place large shipping containers directly inside of the current fencing to prevent entry onto the property. The first part of the variance is for the location placement at a 0-foot setback at the property line. The petitioner is requesting to replace an existing non-conforming 6-foot fence with a 10-foot solid metal fence along 14th and West Wolf Avenue. The facility is used as a scrap metal recycling center. A fence has existed on the site in the front yard since at least 1978, but staff was unable to find any previous board action for the fence. A zoning clearance was applied for on May 5th and was put on hold by staff on May 7th, as it was determined that a developmental variance was needed for the fence to be installed, matching this request. The second part of the variance is the requirement of a landscaped strip between the property line and the security fence. Fences around scrap junkyard, motor vehicle impoundment yards, scrap or recycling yards, or motor vehicle wrecking yards require a landscape strip shall be maintained between the fence and property line in the front and corner side yard. This proposal would not allow for the required landscape strip. The proposed fence shall be solid metal, similar in appearance to fencing found along Oakland Street frontage. The location request is limited to 2 significant existing conditions. There is a large retention pond just west of the fence located, which limits the placement options, and there is a large concrete pad, which also makes the placement challenging. In light of these conditions existing for some time, that prevent a alternative placement. Staff is in agreeance with the petitioner's request for a solid metal fence to be located in the same place at a 0-foot setback as the existing 6-foot chain link fence. Recommendation. Staff recommends approval of the developmental variance based on the following findings of fact. Number 1, the approval will not be injurious to the public, health, safety, morals, or general welfare of the community because the fence will be built and installed in a workmanlike manner. Number 2, the use and value of the area adjoining to the property will not be affected in a substantial adverse manner because a fence is a typical element in an industrial district. The fence's location should not affect the use and the value of adjoining properties. And number 3, granting the variance would be consistent with the intent and purpose of this ordinance because a measure of relief is allowed when warranted. Number 4, special conditions and circumstances do exist as the proposed fence is to be installed on the subject property at the property line because of existing retention pond and concrete placed adjoining to the property line. Number 5, the strict applications of the terms of this ordinance will result in practical difficulty in the use of the property because without the proposed fence, which provides some measure of security, the property owner would be limited on what could be stored inside, therefore greatly limiting the viability of the property for the intended use. Number 6, the special conditions and circumstances do not result from an action or inaction by the applicant as the fence has not yet been installed. Number 7, the property does not lie within a designated flood hazard area. There was 25 letters mailed out and 0 responses.
Okay. Very good. Thank you. Any questions for Kyle?
No questions.
All right. Thank you. Okay. Do we need to do 2? Does there need to be one for the section 26.4.d.1 and then one for 26.4.d.3? Or can we do this in one?
You could really do it in one, as long as
Okay.
you were clear on the motion.
Okay.
Yes.
All right. Then can I have a very clear motion?
Well, I move to approve 26-BZA-16 and adopt the petitioner's documents and presentation together with the staff's finding of facts as the board's finding of facts in the present petition.
Second?
Okay. I think we need something that says,
I think for clarification, just so everybody is, since there was some question, that your motion and your second is for both 26-1B8A, or no, I'm sorry,
26-4D1
and 26-4D3A.
Okay.
yes.
Go ahead. and
Yeah,
clarify.
okay. So do you want me to redo the,
I think we're good. Rain, are we good? I think all that was put into the record.
As long as it's in the record and everyone agrees that those are the 2 requests.
Yeah.
That's fine.
In agreement.
so I do second the motion.
Okay. Roll call?
Lindley,
Yes.
Newbill,
Yes.
Evandro Rico.
Yes. All right, you're all set. Thank you. Yes, and hopefully no more break-ins.
Yeah.
All right, and our last one for the evening, 26 BZA 17.
The petitioners Garrick and Tricia Langford. The site location is 12 Melrose Manor. The request is to vary from section 4.4 yard requirements in the R1 one-family dwelling district, which requires rear setbacks located along the river or stream to be the established. The established setback at this location is 64 feet 9 inches. The current rear setback of the home is 48.6. The requested setback for the home after the addition is 36 feet 6 inches. In the rear, a variance of 28 foot 3 feet.
Okay, thank you. Will the petitioner come up, please?
I have a PowerPoint presentation that I can, if you want me to attach to the meeting, or I can give out paper handouts.
Paper, please.
Okay.
You need to give it to her down here. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. So basically, we want to add on to our house, and the way the code is written and the way the variance is, or the way the setback is, it looks like we're asking for a lot more than we really are. The addition we're planning on is basically extending the house itself by 2 feet on the west side, and then adding porches on either side to have a covered exterior space.
Okay.
And then having a pergola between the two porches. If you go to page 2, this shows kind of a riverside view, isometric view, and these are part of the variance, I think, that was originally submitted. The next page, you'll see that there is the blue squares are where we're basically the additional part of the house that's added on.
Okay.
Just some other reference information here. That is, on the next couple of pages that shows the floor plans. I think there is some confusion or misinformation that's maybe with the neighbors, and I just wanted to clear things up. The established setback, obviously, as you are aware, you measure the houses in the neighborhood, and then you figure out the average. And then our house, the way it is currently, is, if you go to, it's page 6 or 7, there is a red line across the bottom. It shows the established setback.
Mm-hmm.
And our house is already, so many feet over the limit, the way it was built in 1955. We only want to add 2 feet of the house and then 12 feet total. I also have things on the sight lines for the neighbors, because I know there are some objections, and wanted to kind of go over those, or if there are any questions about, this to begin with, I'm happy to answer.
You're 2 feet and you're 12 feet. I guess that's...
Sure. So the living space of the house, the inside, the heated part of the house, we only want to move that out 2 feet. And we're fine with actually leaving it the where it is. That's the only part of the house that's actually extending out, that's part of the structure. Because the porches are attached to the house, they're considered part of the main structure. And therefore, it looks like we're asking for a lot. So hopefully that clears up any confusion.
I think it does, although the porches are structures and
Yes.
they have a roof, and so...
Totally understand.
Yeah.
And we do have, I do have some proposed concessions, obviously, that if, we need to dial things back or make some revisions, we're open to that. I want to make sure that everyone understands this is not just a take it or leave it presentation.
Okay.
So if you have any questions for me, I'm happy to answer them.
Okay, no, I think a lot of what you've given us, we had beforehand and
Okay.
were able to read over it. Sight lines, I think, are what's kind of interesting. You're actually already kind of cutting off the sight line from your people who are on the west of you already, so I don't know that 12 feet make any more difference. I mean, it's just kind of the nature of Melrose that those houses just kind of, because of the curve, they go out farther and farther.
Yes.
So I do get that. Okay. That's the sight lines with the yellow lines, that's a good slide.
Yeah.
Do you guys have any questions?
I do not.
But stay tuned. We may.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. This was very helpful. All right. And now, do we have anyone in the audience to speak for the building?
This is 4, okay.
Okay. To speak against?
Good evening. My name is Paula Turk, and
Paula, have you signed in?
I have.
Great.
And I am the neighbor to the west.
To the west.
Yeah. And it sounds like you're familiar with Melrose Manor. It's a very unique neighborhood. There's only a few along the river, like St. Joe Manor, Gordon Road. We have a little cul-de-sac, and we've built quite a community there. And, you know, the Bickles have been there since day one. Mohans have been there 26 years. I've been there 21 years. You know, it's not a lot of turnover. Because of the fountain, we meet and have picnics and have projects. We have a phone list with the name of children and their dogs and emails. So it's a community. And so I was a little surprised to get the flyer in the mail. I have to say that when the Langfords showed up, we had a party for them, and they have worked tirelessly over the last year and a half to improve their house. They've redone the landscaping and gutted the inside, and so this is awkward, you know, because of our community vibe and to go up against their idea for their dream house. But let's start with the setbacks.
Okay, you're going to have to speak into the microphone when you talk.
All right, so the established setback is 65, basically 65 feet.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm actually 7 feet behind that. So I'm basically at the wall. Come up here. I wanted you. Just to put this, so you get the visual of what we're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so, oops. Come a little bit closer, Steve. My first yellow dot, 16, here it is. So this is, we'll go straight. Okay, this is, they're already in front of the setback, this much out to the, okay?
Right.
In front of what the established setback is.
Mm-hmm.
And so this is where they're going, basically to here.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, my house is at the wall, and I'm on the other side. And I know it's a porch, and it's a patio, and I mean, at first, you say, oh, someone wants to do a patio. Great, wants a better view of the river. Great, that's why we live on the river. But if you look at, I have a photo here. This is my view from my patio, not my house, not my kitchen, coming out, like to line up with their house. And they are going to go, this is.
Could you bring that up? I can't see that very well.
Okay. So this is the current, and they're going out here. This is the current, this was sort of a patio. It was a screened-in porch, and it completely fell apart. Okay. And so now it's just a railing. And they're going out basically to here.
Well, wait, that's in the water, isn't it?
No. This, well, it's going to come up to here. But I'm saying it's going to block my view of the water, yes.
But Okay.
And I mean, I know it's a porch, but once you start putting things on the porch, or you put like, oh, maybe you want to have a sleeping or put down the blinds or something on a porch, it becomes a solid wall. They are extending, so where that white bar is right now, I don't know, do you want me to hold it up so everyone can see it? Where the white bar is now, that will be solid. That's going to be part of the new house. Is that?
Which is going to be the porch. That's not
And the porch
outside.
is beyond that, just 12 feet, just 12 more feet. But where the bar, the thing is now, that's going to be part of the new house. That's the second level. I think that's going to be their family room or something. Dining room. That's going to be in their dining room. So that's going to be a structure. And then we're going, you have to build something to put the porch, to attach the porch. So there'll be 2 feet more to attach the porch, which will end up being like 12 feet. And that kind of wraps around. Do you understand?
Well, I do and I don't. I'm having trouble with this drawing because it looks to me like the white pipe or whatever goes almost out to the water.
It doesn't. That's the angle. But I'm showing you, the idea was to show, from my perspective, it does look like it's going out to the water. So that's going to become solid. That's going to be a room. It'll be 10 feet high with a roof, and then the porch will extend more. So you're right. It does look like it will block my water view. I estimate like 45% of my view will just get cut off there.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Oh, you're welcome. Okay.
Do you have any question? I mean,
any more questions? Thank you.
I think the thinking was that it wouldn't impact anyone's view, and in fact it will.
They're not doing this maliciously, I'm sure. Okay. Yes, and have you signed in?
I have.
Okay.
So I'm Patrick Mohan, my wife Jill Mohan. We live at 13 Melrose Manor.
Okay.
So we would be the property directly east.
Okay.
Okay. So we purchased our house in 2001. It was an older house. We had remodeled it. We basically, before we even bought the house, we fell in love with the view. Obviously, it's a unique area where you can see down both sides of the river. But we met with our construction contractor who would do the work prior to even purchasing the land to make sure that we could go out as far as we could within the setbacks. And that's what we ultimately ended up doing. So we did all that back in like 2000, purchased it 2001, did some remodeling 2002, 2003. So just a little background. I did print the staff report. And I'm just going to go through some of the points that they recommended. I don't know if that's appropriate.
Whatever you would like.
Because you're going to hear the same thing, I guess. Anyways, I respectively, disagree with some of the opinions that they had. So in the staff analysis, they basically came up with 64.9 as the calculated setback. Not really sure if the staff did that calculation themselves or they relied on the measurements in the petition, because all those numbers come directly from the petition. And not really sure of the methodology. If you take the furthest point, the closest point and average those, or just take a midpoint, not really sure. But regardless, we'll assume they're correct. Basically, it kind of states in the staff analysis that they're removing an existing deck and want to replace it. It seems like they're doing that, but they're doing that with living quarters and then adding a 12-foot deck on top of that. But it read that way to me. But they're already beyond the setback, which has been told 16 feet as it is today, so it'd be 28 feet total. In the staff report, it says the method for determining setbacks helps to protect the adjacent property owner's views of the river. So I think the proposed variance would obviously impact our views. And I do have a picture from our perspective. So this is our kitchen window.
Okay. Rain, do you want to?
Yeah, you did have her take a picture there, please.
So I don't have a copy of the sight lines that got provided today. I didn't see that in the packet, but I would guess it would go out to about the tree and block about here.
Okay.
Would be my guess. But I don't know if a site analysis was done. I don't think there was one, other than what provided to you by the petitioner.
Thank you, that's helpful.
Okay. And do you want that picture, or you took a picture?
We don't need to keep these, no, since Rain got her handy dandy phone and she's got the photographs.
Okay. And then the house, the 12 Melrose, the petitioner's house, there's not one house adjacent that's blocking their view today. So going out further, I don't really see the need for that to get a better view, I guess. And then in the recommendations, so the public health and safety and all that, agree with that, not an issue. The use and value of the area adjacent will not be affected in an adverse manner. I would argue or make the point that that home is already the closest one to the river in all of the properties in the neighborhood. And it kind of talks about what I said about replacing the existing porch. It's not really replacing something in kind. It's actually creating more home space and then adding a deck. And then the granting the variance would be consistent with the intent and purpose of this ordinance because it's a measure of relief. Again, the purpose of the ordinance is to protect the neighboring views. The proposal will definitely impact our views. And then 4 and 5 kind of special conditions, strict applications of the ordinance gets to hardship, I think, is kind of the main thing. And to what I've read is the hardship has to be related to the land itself, or one of the main components of that. So, I mean, it is, the property is really not unique to the area. It's one of the largest lots in our neighborhood. So that's kind of a close-up of our lot 13 and the petitioner's lot 12.
Wait, are you?
He's to the right.
So 11 is owned, half of it's owned by 12 and half of it's owned by 10, which is in the description of the property.
Okay.
I think on the first page.
And you were 13.
And we're 13 here.
You're 13, and they're building here?
No, here, 12.
Right in the middle.
So here's a good view of the neighborhood
Right.
of all the homes in Melrose Manor.
Okay.
Did you
And
want to take a picture
the
of
red
that?
square is their home.
It is not the same. That one has more detail.
Yeah, that's just a blow up of their property
Right.
and our property. Yeah, you can have that. You can have this too. So the point is that the property itself isn't really unique to the neighborhood. And again, the lot is already the closest lot in the neighborhood by 6 feet, if the calculations are done in the proper manner. But it just seems to me it's not really a hardship. It's more seeking for a larger structure. And the design of that structure is causing the hardship.
Okay.
Okay, and then there is reference in the petition to accessory structures and the reason why they need to do this, because it couldn't be a detached structure. If they needed to do that, there's safety concerns and leakage and things like that. From what I read, even with if they wanted to have that, if they had a deck over 24 inches, I'm not an expert, but they would need to get a variance for that as well.
Okay.
Which I don't know if that's true. I
don't know.
I referenced 26.1 section F, where it talks about that.
Okay.
So then just basically the other parts of this, I guess, is, the ordinance is kind of there to protect all the properties. It's using an average calculation because there is kind of a windy road or windy river, right? And if you look at his exhibit B in the petitioner's packet, you can kind of see that path of all the homes. And you kind of mentioned that earlier.
Mm-hmm.
And as far as special circumstances, I mean, every homeowner would love to have more space and move out. So, and just wanting additional space isn't really unique. And then the ordinance as it is today seems to be functioning just fine. By granting approval, it would set a precedent where my house could go another 18 feet further towards the river.
What we decide is a one-time thing. We don't set precedents, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah. So, and then again, 50 years from now, if someone tears down that house, I would imagine the setback would stay. They could build a house all the way up to that, whether it's a deck or not a deck. So that's all I have to say.
I have a question. When you purchased your house, you made improvements. Did you do any improvements to the outside?
We gutted the whole house and we moved out maybe, I don't know how far, maybe 6 feet towards the river on the very east side of the building, which is the furthest point from the river.
Okay, that's what I thought you said. Okay, thank you.
Okay, anyone else? Oh. Okay. Have you given them? Okay, yes, let's call on our person online, and I believe you're unmuted now. I'm sorry? You can unmute and turn on his camera. Oh, you can unmute and turn on your camera now. Okay, there we go.
Yeah. Can you hear me fine?
Yes, we can.
Okay, this is Paul Campbell. My wife and I are at 14 Melrose Manor, just east of the subject property. My wife, Barbara Campbell, had a 38-year career as a leader in real estate in Elkhart, Indiana, and I also hold a real estate license. And it is just a fact of the market that you cannot change the view of a property without affecting the property value in a situation like this. And the variance would allow the Langford property to benefit while the other properties along the shore here in Melrose Manor would all suffer. They would suffer from a diminishment of their view, the lines of sight, and their property values that are very strictly tied to the view and the riverfront view that's afforded by the locations. I am also very concerned that changing the easement to allow the construction within 36 feet of the river's edge would eventually allow someone, whether it's the Langfords or someone else, to build a two-story structure there, not just an open patio. In fact, the descriptions we have seen have mentioned an open patio. We have seen artist renderings of a covered patio, and we've seen reference in the variance itself to a two-story home addition. That seems to open up that likelihood that that addition would be eventually become a two-story enclosed part of the living space at some point. That's why we object strongly. Diminishment of property values, the compromise of the lines of sight that all of us have agreed to by buying and retaining the setbacks as they were established over the course of history. That's it for me. Thanks for giving me a chance to speak.
Thank you very much. We appreciate it. And do we have one more person online? Okay, all right. Then I'm assuming LS does not wish to speak. If you do, put your hand up, or your metaphorical hand up. Okay, all right. Is there anyone else then that wishes to speak? Yes.
I would like to make one point. I know there's.
Wait until you
Get up to the mic.
I would like to make a point. We are perfectly happy with having a restrictive covenant that would run to the subsequent owners that would prevent anyone from enclosing those patios or those porches. That's all.
Okay, all right. Yes, ma'am.
I did not sign in, but am I able to respond to some of it?
Yes.
I can sign in. I am the other homeowner, and I just wanted to respond to the fact when people talk about a two-story structure, our house is a walkout basement. So when they say two-story, we want something off the main level. We're not doing it to get better views because in fact it won't give us better views. Our house, the way it was built, and I've had two builders out, we've worked with an architect, we've worked with a draftsman, and they've all said that in order to have a dining space, our house had a kitchen and a little dinette that could seat 4 people, nothing else. That's the way it was built in 1956. So in order to be able to have a family dinner, to be able to have my children and their significant others, we don't have a place that they can sit down and eat. So we were trying to add a dining room that our family, extended family, can gather at. It's not to gain better views. By pushing a porch out, we want to take what used to be a screened-in porch that fell apart, literally the roof flew off and hit the neighbor's house. We're wanting to take that, turn it into a dining room, and then put a porch off of that 12 feet, which is what we currently have, or had for a porch. We're trying to push it out. It won't improve our view any because there are bushes that are literally, that are tall enough that when you look out, you can't see the water because they're tall. And that's absolutely, the neighbors can have whatever they want. But so it's not about improving our view. It's trying to make it so we can have a place for our family to gather at, to have, to sit down and have a meal. And have a place on our main level that, one, we can let our dog out because that's the only way that we'll be able to let our dog out into the backyard is from the back, and have a place that we can, sit and enjoy being outside. Our house, has nothing that's usable really at the moment. And the pergola he talks about, that is down on the basement level. So the porches, while they look like they're 2 stories from the river, it's a basement and then the first floor.
Yes, I think we understood that. Mr. Langford, would you come up, please, too? If you did not do the porches, if you did just the inside development, how much farther out would you be going?
We could have just the 2 feet, or we could squeeze it back in within the original, footprint of the house, but we just wouldn't have any outside spaces.
Would that give you your dining room if you had the 2 feet?
The 2 feet is not really the issue.
He's talking about if we took the area that had the screen porch,
Right.
which is what the builders and everybody has recommended, turning that into a dining room. So it would be living and dining room connected. And then we wanted to be able to have an outdoor area beyond that.
So the area that had the screened-in porch, that goes out 12 feet.
Yes.
I believe that's,
Either 16 or,
It
yeah,
goes out
hang
12,
on.
it goes out 12 feet.
okay.
The porch goes out 12.
16.
And it's
16 from the established
Wait,
setback, I think.
What are you,
So here, so the established setback is like 64 feet. So the existing goes out from 64 feet to 48 and a half feet.
Okay.
Does that make sense?
It does.
Okay.
Yeah, it does.
I mean, we've had speakers that have, that are technically, like, their homes are also over the setback.
They understand that.
Well, I just,
Yeah,
All right.
okay.
Did you have any more questions?
Any more questions?
Nope.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Any more questions, Ann? Another hand is up. All right. If you would unmute and turn your video on, Mr. Campbell?
Yeah, just circling back. The real fundamental issue is the porches covered, perhaps with screens, likely with screens, will diminish the lines of sight and the view for all of the other residents east of the subject property. That is just a fact.
All right. Thank you.
So if I'm understanding that, what he just said, there wasn't already an existing screen porch there
There
already.
was an existing screened-in porch, and that was blown away.
It was blown away, right.
Yeah. And, okay.
I understand that, right.
Okay. So our task here tonight is to accept or reject your proposal. If we reject, then you, I think, will need to go back with your neighbors and your architects and see what might be more acceptable for everything. Eric, it looks like you are a man on a mission.
Well, Maggie wanted me to come up and make sure that you understand the request.
Can everybody see?
Yes.
And so this was where the screened-in porch was?
That's right, just a deck.
Yeah, we did understand. Yeah, thank you, Maggie.
That's what I thought.
Yeah, okay, yeah. I always do what Maggie tells me. That was a wise move on your part, Eric. All right. I think at this time we're ready for staff to come up.
The The petitioner wishes to vary from the requirements of section 4.4 yard requirements in the R1 one-family dwelling district, which requires rear setbacks located along the river or stream to be the established setback. The established setback at this location is 64 foot 9 inches. Current rear setback is 48 feet 6 inches. The requested setback for the home after an addition is 36.6 feet in the rear, a variance of 28.3 feet. The petitioner is proposing to remove the existing deck and replace with a 2-story addition on the riverfront lot. The proposed addition will extend the existing home 12 foot closer to the river, measuring from the attached deck. To meet the setback requirements for river frontage, because of the configuration of the home, a rear yard variance is required. This type of variance is not uncommon for lots in established neighborhoods where older homes are added on to and updated to more contemporary layouts. The lot, by the zoning ordinance development standards, has 2 front yards, the street frontage and the river front side of the property. The ordinance requires the setbacks be calculated for the front and rear for the riverfront lots be established by determining the average for that part of the street. This method for determining setbacks helps to protect the adjacent property's owner's views of the river, which is why most people live on the river, the view. Most times the homeowner will want to maximize the view of the river in order to also not block the view of other surrounding properties. Some sort of variance is required. The scale of the addition is not out of character for the neighborhood and surrounding properties. Given the constraints of the established setback, it will not allow an addition to be built without some measure of relief. The staff recommends approval of the developmental variance based on the following findings of fact. Number 1, the approval will not be injurious to the public health, safety, morals, or general welfare of the community because the addition will be built in a workmanlike manner. Number 2, the use and value of the area adjacent to the property will not be affected in a substantially adverse manner because the proposed addition is far away from the river as possible and replacing an existing porch. Number 3, granting the variance would be consistent with the intent and purpose of this ordinance because a measure of relief is allowed when warranted. Number 4, special conditions and circumstances do exist which are peculiar to the land involved and which were not applicable to other lands or structures in the same district because the established rear setback would preclude an addition commonly built addition to the original structure located on the property. Number 5, the strict application of the terms of the ordinance will result in practical difficulties in the use of the property because the established rear yard setback has existed for decades. Number 6, the special conditions and circumstances do not result in from action or inaction by the applicant because the setbacks were established by neighboring properties. And number 7, the property does not lie within a designated flood hazard area. There were. "22 letters mailed, 6 returned, with 3 also comments. 6 were not in favor, 3 were questions only, and there were the following comments. Dear members of the board, I'm writing as an interested party and property owner within 300-foot notification of the subject property. I own and reside at 14 Melrose Manor, which is located approximately 100 feet upstream from 12 Melrose Manor. I'm formally writing to log my objection to the requested developmental variance, seeking a reduction of the required rear yard setback along the river stream from 64.9 to 36.6. I respectfully request the board deny the petition request based on the following concerns: encroachment of the established waterway setback. The existing 64-foot 9-inch setback exists to protect the natural riverfront corridor and ensure uniform property alignment. Allowing the structure to push nearly 28 foot closer to the waterway than permitted disrupts the established aesthetic and visual character of Melrose Manor addition. Number 2, potential drainage environmental impact altering the natural buffer zone located along riverbanks raises severe concerns regarding stormwater runoff, soil erosion, and localized flooding. Increasing the impervious surface area so close to the water could negatively impact neighboring yards or river ecosystem. Number 3, the impact on surrounding property value and enjoyment. The open natural space along the riverway is a primary driver of property values in our neighborhood. Encroaching on this shared buffer zone will negatively impact the sightline views, privacy, and overall enjoyment of the neighboring parcels, likely diminishing surrounding property values and property tax revenue. A variance is meant to address extraordinary hardship inherent to the land itself. The petitioners have not demonstrated a unique hardship that justifies infringing upon the protective river setback at the expense of the surrounding neighborhood. Thank you for your time and consideration. Next is also an objection, writing in variance is substantial, 28.3 feet from the established setback. The existing home is already a substantial riverfront residence, impact neighboring properties, riverview, sightlines, open space, would undermine established setback, would set an undesirable precedent, erodes the protections intended by the zoning ordinance. There was also a survey taken and submitted by neighboring property owners, all against. And last comment would lower the property values.
Okay, any questions for Eric?
No question.
All right. Let's make a motion.
Okay, I move to approve 26 BZA-17 and adopt the petitioner's documents and presentation together with the staff's finding of the fact as the board's finding of facts in the present petition.
Second.
All right, roll call.
Lindley,
No.
Newbill,
No.
Evangelista,
No. I am sorry, and honestly, we do not do this lightly. What I really suggest to you is that you get together. You've talked about how you're a close neighborhood, and I hope that you can get together and come up with something because you're close. I mean, the decks were a step too far. So Melrose is a darling street. It is one of the nicest, sweetest streets in the city. This is what Elkhart's all about. And I just really hope that you can come together and put your differences aside and bring the land. It sounds like that you all get together very well. Bring the Langfords into your group and talk to them about what you can live with. She has a problem. She wants a dining room where she can sit down with her kids. Nope. She wants a dining room where she can sit down with her kids. And let's try and get this for her. But let's try and keep your neighbors' sightlines intact too. You can do it. You guys are a great neighborhood and you can do it. So please come back to us. I want to see you back here again with something that you'll be happy with and that we can get your kids together and you can all eat together. So that's just my 2 cents. That's not anything official, although it will go into the record as being official. But please do what you can to make everyone work together on this and be happy. And I am sorry. As I said, we did not take this decision lightly. This was very, very hard for us to do. But I think that it was needed. And your presentations were very good. Thank you for those. Okay. Do I have a motion for adjournment?
So moved.
Yes. Oh, we're not adjourned yet, but you can leave.
I do have an announcement this evening.
Eric, I can't
I'm sorry,
hear you.
I've had a lot of done.
I know, I'm sorry. If you'll just get closer to it.
I do have an announcement this evening.
Oh, yes?
We have hired another planner for the department after 3 years.
I bet you're thrilled.
After 3 years, we have finally replaced Mr. Smith.
Oh, my.
So I will be transitioning eventually away, and that planner will be taking over as staff to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
No, I'm sorry. I say no to that, and that will not be allowed.
Really, really tired. But I wanted to let you know that he is starting in the next couple weeks.
And who is it?
His name is Chris Godlewski. So I will be here for the next couple months to transition and bring them, kind of phase him in.
Okay.
But I wanted to let you know that I am excited. He'll be a wonderful addition. He comes with good amount of experience. So he will be an excellent addition to the staff. So I wanted to let you know that is happening in the next couple weeks. And he will be transitioning into being primary staff to the Board of Zoning Appeals.
Okay. We appreciate you letting us know, and we're just not real happy about this. So, okay.
I will do my best.
Okay, all right, very good. Do we have a call for adjournment?
So moved.
Second? Second. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye, very good. We are adjourned.
I'm sorry.